Well, good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Bruce Frisco. It is Monday, the 13th of April. This is CTV News. Tonight, senior center strike. Long-term care workers walk off the job. The latest on the truck crash and oil spill that's blocked highway traffic. And an antiques appraisal. Heritage Museum puts family finds under the microscope.
Live from our Maritime's News Center, this is CTV News. Here is Bruce Frisco.
Good evening. We begin tonight with some breaking news from the Amherst area. One person has died in an apparent shooting incident in that community. Town police say they responded to reports of a loud bang on Prince Arthur Street just before 7 p.m. this evening. Officers found a man with a single gunshot wound not far from a local homeless shelter. He was rushed to hospital but pronounced dead. The Cumberland Regional Healthcare Center near Amherst was locked down for a time, but has since lifted those restrictions. Police Chief Dwayne Pike tells CTV News the suspect or suspects fled the scene in a vehicle, but there is no reason to believe there's any risk to the public. The Major Crime Unit is leading the investigation. Chief Pike says it is very much in its early stages. Thousands of long-term care workers in Nova Scotia were on the picket line today and say they will be back first thing in the morning. While essential care continues, the workers want better pay. It comes nearly 3 years after their contract ended. CTV's Jonathan McGuinness has more.
I support them because they've been waiting a long time for a raise.
That support comes despite Janet Fleming's mother being a resident at Ocean View Continuing Care Centre in Eastern Passage. While her mother's needs are being met so far, she hopes the contract standoff doesn't drag on.
I hope they realize, the government realizes that they need to do something about it soon, that this can't go on forever, or there will be some concerns.
Nova Scotia's Minister of Seniors and Long-Term Care says legally, all day-to-day needs of the residents must continue to be met during the strike.
There is an essential service agreement that has to be in place, which is a legally binding contract that says essential services, which include bathing, dressing, your meals, and your medication. So all of these things must continue.
The government's offer stands at a wage increase between 12% and 24% and a 70% increase in shift premium, all of it retroactive to 2023. That's not enough, according to the union president.
Members are burnt out. They have to work multiple hours, overtime shifts, and sometimes second and even third jobs to make a go of life in Nova Scotia right now.
While 2,200 workers from the 24 facilities are on strike, in total, CUPE represents 52 long-term care homes in the province. They say more strike notices could be issued in the coming days.
We're looking for the government to get back to the table, to help get us back to work, to doing what we know and love best, and that's taking care of our residents.
Minister Barbara Adams says identical deals have been accepted by workers in acute care and home care staff, which includes some CUPE members. Jonathan McGuinness, CTV News, Eastern Passage, Nova Scotia.
We continue to follow the truck crash just north of St. John, which has blocked a section of Route 1. Dashcam video shows the moment the double-long tanker rolled over before spilling oil last week. As CTV's Avery McRae tells us tonight, officials did provide some answers on the incident today.
The video is jarring. Footage obtained by CTV shows the seconds leading up. The video is jarring. Footage obtained by CTV shows the seconds leading up and the rollover itself of a tanker truck on Highway 1 last Wednesday in southern New Brunswick that saw around 36,000 liters of fuel spilled.
Investigation is still ongoing.
Seaboard Liquid Carriers has been identified by the province as the responsible party of the fuel spill, who will be on the hook for the cleanup cost, which isn't yet known. As for how the crash occurred or if charges will be laid, the province's Deputy Environment Minister says it's too early to tell.
We're well on our way in regards to cleaning the immediate impacted areas. So all the mitigations are in place to avoid anything getting worse or going further. So, for example, they have underflow dams and booms in the waterways so that it's not leaking away from the site.
As for when the cleanup will be completed and the eastbound section of the highway, which has been closed since Wednesday evening, will reopen, Awad says it's too early to tell. The government will follow the direction of Perio Engineering, who were hired by Seaboard Liquid Carriers to lead the cleanup efforts.
In the meantime, the department's been engaged by visiting neighbors or people that are houses within the area. I believe we visited 10 houses that were in the potentially impacted space. Perio is working with them in regards to testing their wells to start doing some monitoring on their behalf if their wells would be impacted by the spill.
No timeline was given for those test results, but a strong smell of fuel remained around the impacted site today. CTV reached out to Seaboard Transport for comment on the spill, but have yet to respond. Ava McRae, CTV News, Nowidjawak, New Brunswick.
RCMP in southeast New Brunswick handing out dozens of tickets in a recent enforcement blitz. 7 tickets and 200 warnings issued over about 2 weeks. Officers also suspended licenses, towed some vehicles, and laid several charges. Police say the effort is aimed at improving safety on the roads. Meantime, the push to fight crime in downtown Moncton is continuing. Stakeholders sat down for a meeting with police and politicians last week, and as expected, the question of whether there are enough officers remains a bone of contention.
We have enough to answer all the 911s that we get on a daily basis. What we do not have enough is to do everything that's asked of us of all 3 communities of Moncton, Dieppe, and Riverview.
It sort of goes without saying, yet all 3 councils voted against hiring additional police officers only recently.
We could probably use more, but I think, again, crime is evolving. Everything is changing. Is it the RCMP's responsibility to look after the people who are on our streets?
The Anti-Crime Coalition says it will be scheduling another meeting in June with new municipal councils. Election day, of course, is May the 11th.
Get the Maritime's top stories, breaking news alerts, and watch live. Download the CTV News app.
Now to a cautionary tale for anybody who e-transfers money. A Maritime woman inadvertently sent $3,500 to the wrong email address. It's a simple typo that came with a very high cost. CTV's Brianne Foley has her story tonight.
When sending e-transfers, one New Brunswick woman wants people to pay attention to the details.
I sent an e-transfer towards a kitchen restoration, like a down payment. There was an error, a typo, so I immediately went online and tried to cancel the e-transfer. But because it had auto deposit, I was unable to cancel from home. So I immediately contacted Scotiabank customer service.
Manuel says her bank told her to email the recipients to ask for the funds back and that they would try to place a hold on the account. But after a few days, she had not heard back.
I contacted Scotiabank and they opened up. I think it was a fraud investigation, but it was a mistaken e-transfer. It was sent to the wrong person. So they said that just keep checking your bank account. The funds should be returned within 10 days.
CTV reached out to Interact, who told us in part financial institutions are the primary point of contact for customers and are responsible for investigating reported issues and taking appropriate steps under their internal policies and applicable consumer protection rules. While reporting an issue right away improves the chances of recovery, not all situations can be resolved quickly. It's now been a month since the errant transfer was sent, and Marcia Manuel is still waiting to hear what's happened to her missing $3,500.
CTV's Brianne Foley with that story. Well, a barn in West Hants, Nova Scotia, was destroyed by fire over the weekend. The blaze broke out early Sunday evening on Rand Street in Hants border. The barn housed some farm vehicles and machinery with the estimated damage of over $1 million. Firefighters were assessed by paramedics. One was taken to hospital but later released. There were no other injuries, and there's no word on a cause. The cost of flying is quickly escalating, forcing some Maritimers to rethink their travel plans. Fares have increased as much as 15%, with airlines raising prices and introducing fuel surcharges. Experts predict it'll get worse before it gets better.
Fuel's gone nuts. You know, a month and a half ago, it was like $70, $75 a barrel for fuel, aviation fuel. It's now at $175, $180. So it's more than double.
I think travelers will take it in stride. I mean, travel does continue to still be something that people want to spend their money on.
In the end, it could result in a boost for domestic tourism, but that in turn may force the airlines to eliminate some longer routes. We got a look today at some new transitional housing units in St. John. People are expected to start moving in this week. As CTV's Nick Moore shows us, the new suites offer some big differences from what's nearby.
The expanded transitional housing site next to the existing Neighborly Homes location on Thorne Avenue was approved by City Council in February to include 14 new micro-suites. Marcel Lebrun is the executive director of 12 Neighbors, Inc., which also operates the other existing transitional housing units nearby. Lebrun says these new units are different.
So these are fully equipped units with kitchens and bathrooms, similar to what a regular market housing experience, yet still staffed 24/7, still supportive, so there's still staff there to help people get stabilized.
Lebrun says the new units will present a new level of independence for the residents.
We have people now that are full-time employed, and some of those are going to move into here where they have more independence and then ultimately move out of here into more permanent housing. So that's the model, and some people can progress really quickly through that. They just need a little something to get their feet under.
The city announced in February that managing responsibilities for the Thorne Avenue and Egbert Street transitional housing sites would switch to the provincial government in April. 7 people will move in here on Wednesday, with another 7 people moving in by the end of the month. Nick Moore, CTV News, St. John.
Thank you, Nick. Time for our first break tonight. Still to come, Kaylin's full forecast, and we'll examine the good news and the bad news in the latest cancer statistics. Coming up next, though, a golden opportunity.
It'll be about 197, or just shy of 200 jobs that we anticipate, creating for this time that we're processing.
Nova Scotia green lights new production at an old gold mine. That's next. Stay with us.
Mornings with Aaron and Peter. We're getting you all decked out with Kent. You can win $2,000 in brand new patio furniture and decor.
Enter once an hour at our website, move100halifax.ca.
Been a lot of talk about reviving Nova Scotia's natural resource industries, but there hasn't, frankly, been a whole lot of movement. That said, a project in the province's eastern shore has been given the green light to reopen a shuttered gold mine. It promises jobs and revenue. CTV's Jesse Thomas has more.
Work at the Tukoi gold mine in Moose River is expected to ramp up later this year after a work permit was approved by government. Atlantic Mining plans to process a stockpile of ore sitting on the site and turn it into 40,000 ounces of gold.
So far as there was still, ore to be processed there, that about 3 million tons that would provide roughly $200 million in development and economic benefit to the province.
Owned by Australia-based St. Barbara, Atlantic Mining operated the Tukoi mine site from 2017 to 2023, employing nearly 400 people at its peak. Since then, the workforce has dropped to around 40, but officials will rebuild the workforce, they say, soon.
It'll be about 197, or just shy of 200 jobs that we anticipate, creating for this time that we're processing.
The Department of Natural Resources says this approval and another at the Goldboro site signals Nova Scotia is open for business while stressing the industry is heavily regulated.
We're worked collectively together to make sure that not only we are efficiently permitting a project, we are providing strong oversight to that to make sure that the project is safe. It is responsible, and it does bring benefits to Nova Scotians.
Jesse Thomas, CTV News, Halifax.
Okay, time for a quick little break here, but when we return, it's your complete maritime weather forecast. We're going to dry out a little bit tomorrow after what's been a rainy, cool day. Kaylin Mitchell's full forecast coming up next. Stay with us. Okay, it's Monday night, 13th day of April. Turned out to be kind of a cool and very wet April day around here.
Yeah, April rain and showers moving through. Welcome back, Bruce, by the way.
Thank you.
It's great having you back in the studio. Yeah, a little bit of a soggy and foggy night going on across the Maritime region. We do have a weather front that is crossing the area. That's off of a low-pressure system. It's located all the way up towards northern areas of Quebec. In general, we're going to finish with some rainfall amounts, mostly in the range around 5 to 15 millimeters around the Maritimes with this weather system. Don't expect that to be causing too much in the way of issues. The wet weather will continue to clear as we make our way through the remainder of the night, exiting east of Nova Scotia. The start of the day for tomorrow around the Maritimes, cloudy with fog patches. Now moving into Tuesday afternoon, the fog is going to dissipate and the cloud cover is going to break up a little bit. Yes, we can expect a few sunny breaks around the Maritime region on Tuesday, a little bit of a breezy north and northwest wind, and then the next round of April rain and showers isn't too far away, arriving Tuesday evening in areas of New Brunswick, and then showers and rain moving to other parts of the Maritimes as we move through Tuesday night and into Wednesday morning. Here's a look at some wind gusts in the forecast as we move through tonight and into tomorrow. The wind direction is going to change for Tuesday. It's going to be out of the north and the northwest. The winds will be sustained mostly between 10 and 20 kilometers per hour. It is expected to be a little bit breezier around Prince Edward Island, especially around the north coast and coastal areas around the north shore of Nova Scotia, as well as the Gulf of St. Lawrence coastline in Cape Breton, as well as the coastline closer to the Cabot Strait. And the reason for that is the wind gusts there could get up to around 30, 40 kilometers per hour. Low temperatures in the forecast for tonight for a good portion of New Brunswick fall to around the low to mid-single digits. Mid-single digits for Prince Edward Island, low to mid-single digits for Cape Breton, and then for mainland Nova Scotia, most of the low temperatures a little bit milder in the range of 6 to 10 degrees. Here's a look at your highs for Tuesday in the north of New Brunswick between 7 and 12 degrees. In the central and southern parts of that province with high temperatures also between 10 and 14. Those St. Stephen get up to around 15 degrees for tomorrow. Some mildness there in the southwestern corner of the province. Not too uncommon, especially when there's a northwest wind blowing. Prince Edward Island for tomorrow with high temperatures between 6 and 10 degrees. It'll be cloudy with sunny breaks. Into the east of Nova Scotia, there is a low chance of a couple showers, especially around the north shore of the province. So areas of Pictou and Antigonish County throughout the day. Other than that, a mix of sun and cloud and a lot of high temperatures between 7 and 9 degrees, though cooler in Inverness County and Cape Breton. There, the highs between 4 and 7. In northern and central parts of the province for tomorrow, it's high temperatures mostly between 10 and 13 degrees in the mix of sun and cloud. Remember, though, there'll be some more showers on their way in for Tuesday night, as there will be for southwestern areas of Nova Scotia. But during the day for tomorrow, when that sun breaks through, temperatures are going to be milder with a lot of highs coming up between 14 and 17 degrees. In the 7-day outlook, beginning first with New Brunswick, it is showers in the forecast for Wednesday. Rain expected Thursday night, ending as a chance of showers on Friday. A mix of sun and cloud, temperatures cooler by a couple degrees for the start of the weekend on Saturday. And another round of rain and showers expected to come in late Sunday, finishing as a chance of showers on Monday. And some April rain and showers in the forecast for Nova Scotia as well. Showers on Wednesday, high temperatures around the high single digits. Thursday night, the next round of showers moves in, clearing through on Friday, high temperatures in the low teens. Chance of showers on Saturday, rain expected late in the day on Sunday, followed by chance of showers on Monday. And for Prince Edward Island, it's showers in the forecast for Wednesday, a little bit cooler, high near 5 degrees. Showers arriving Thursday night into Friday. Those clear out. The weekend starts with a mix of sun and cloud. Rain and showers Sunday night into Monday. Bruce.
That is the most encouraging thing I've seen in a week.
What's that?
That forecast.
Really?
Yes.
It was a little bit cooler.
Dreary week, man, I'm telling you.
All right.
Yeah. Okay, thank you for that. All right, stay with us. Much more to come.
The #1 morning show in Halifax. Turk, Megan, and Amateur Alex. And home to the biggest artists. Halifax's #1 hit music station. 101.3 Virgin Radio.
Chances are you know somebody who has fought or beaten cancer, but unfortunately you will probably know even more of them in the future. New research confirms cancer remains the leading cause of death in Canada, but it's not all bad news. CTV's Vanessa Wright breaks down the numbers.
Fighting cancer is very emotional.
Tiffany Clark was diagnosed with blood cancer in 2022. It took only 1 week from the time doctors suspected the disease for her to be admitted.
I then spent the next 7 months in the hospital, including some time in the ICU and learning how to walk again.
After 2 years of chemotherapy treatments, she's now in remission. Cancer is still the leading cause of death in Canada. A new study by the Canadian Medical Association Journal estimates more than 250,000 cancer cases and nearly 90,000 cancer-related deaths in 2026. The data shows higher cancer rates in Eastern Canada.
It's estimated that 7,800 people will be diagnosed with cancer this year, and 3,000 will die from the disease here in Nova Scotia.
42% of people in Canada will be diagnosed with cancer in their lifetime. Lung cancer is the most prominent, with nearly 33,000 cases expected this year. Breast, prostate, and colorectal cancer follow closely behind. But there is good news. 2/3 of those cancer types have seen declines in death rates thanks to advances in research and screening.
It's really showing the progress around tobacco control and smoking cessation efforts having impact on reducing lung cancer incidence.
To me, it's really important that we focus on research and preventative measures to try to bring these numbers down.
Vanessa Wright, CTV News, Halifax.
Thank you, Vanessa. Time for one final break tonight. Coming up, an Antiques Roadshow type event draws some big crowds around here over the weekend. First, though, it's your wake-up weather. Here's a live look at the Armdale Roundabout on this rainy Monday night. 6 degrees right now. Caitlin will tell you how to dress for the morning next. Tuesday morning, 14th day of April. Let's kick it off with a look at the wake-up weather and Kaylin Mitchell.
Expected to be a cloudy and foggy start for some communities in the Maritimes. Morning temperatures, though, above the freezing mark in the range approximately between 4 and 8 degrees. Might be a little bit milder than that here and there, especially around the Atlantic coastline of Nova Scotia. Fog should be clearing away as we move from the morning into the afternoon. The afternoon featuring a mix of sun and cloud and a lot of high temperatures, low to mid-teens, except a little bit cooler for Prince Edward Island and eastern areas of Nova Scotia, including Cape Breton. Bruce.
We'll take it. Thank you, my friend. Well, the Dartmouth Heritage Museum hosted a special antiques appraisal kind of event over the weekend, like Antiques Roadshow. As CTV's Mike Lamb shows us, scores of people brought in family heirlooms, hoping to have them designated hidden treasures.
We're having our Antiques Roadshow. We try to do these twice a year, so one time in the spring and the fall. So we have 2 local antique appraisers, Rosemary Beckett and Jim Huey. They've been volunteers at the museum for several years, and they come in and people bring in their items and they get to hear the stories of where they came from and potential monetary values, though we're often more interested in the stories that the items hold, and the monetary stuff is a bonus for the folks who come in.
I send people home with homework. They have to write up the story to talk about who owned this in their family. And then we have this lovely music box, which has the magnetic ballerina. It's from Japan, probably mid-20th century, and in beautiful shape. So I love doing these roadshows. You never know who's going to bring what.
Evergreen House, we're here at 26 Newcastle Street in Dartmouth. We have some brand new exhibits here on display, including a beautiful new art gallery upstairs. People are very welcome to check that out. We have a new exhibit on Joseph Howe and his connection to Dartmouth and also the James family, because he was a family friend of the original owners of the house. So there's a wide variety, both from what's being brought in just for the Antiques Roadshow, as well as what's on display here at the museum.
Lots of treasures to see.
I bet there is. That's your late news for this Monday night. If you joined us late or you'd like to take a closer look at anything we've shown you, ctvnewsatlantic.ca. It's always your home for news. I'm Bruce Frisco. Thank you for staying up late with us tonight. Have a good evening, and we sure hope to see you again tomorrow.